It's hard to say if there is such a thing as financial terrorism, but the Secret Service has a long history of protecting the nation's financial infrastructure. And we're certainly more concerned with U.S. citizens than we are necessarily those abroad. That's our first priority, to protect our own citizens. However, in today's world, with the advent of the internet, with all of the cybercrime, credit card fraud, computer hackings that we all hear about, the complexion has changed, and so that has made the Secret Service more of an organization that looks at things globally. And so in that way, we have a number of offices located around the country, 24 foreign offices, and we make every effort to combat transnational organized crime. And largely the Secret Service is concerned with the financial sector. So we are very diligent in pursuing cybercrime that relates to the financial sector, but more importantly, anything related to financial crime, cybercrime, all ties to identity theft and the loss of personal identifiable information on the part of individuals. So that's how it once again can affect a citizen or an individual person. We maintain a number of electronic crimes task forces located around the world. We have 29 domestic task forces in the United States. We have 2 overseas, one in Rome and one in London. In those task forces, we interact with other federal law enforcement agencies, state and local law enforcement agencies, as well as the private sector, again, in that financial lane that we are most concerned with, and also with many academic institutions that are responsible for and conduct research in some of the latest technology that affects the internet, cyber, telephone, cellular telephone use, and the like. So we have always been involved in partnerships from the standpoint of our both protective and investigative mission. We rely very heavily on other law enforcement to carry out both of those missions, both the protective and the investigative mission, that the responsibility the Secret Service has. Well, with the advent again of the computer and cyber criminals following, it has made it very easy for cyber criminals to actually rob, if you will, individuals of their personal identification, their finances, being able to hack into bank accounts, to create fraudulent credit cards in the names of innocent victims. And the reality of it is, these folks, these criminals, unlike a criminal of years ago who had to have a gun and actually rob you or break into your house in order to steal from you, they're now able to do it behind a keyboard of a computer anywhere in the world. So the advent of technology, the internet, cyber, and just the things that we live with today have made it in some ways easier for criminals to operate in a transnational capacity. So there are no longer borders. There are no borders with regard to the city you live in, the state you live in, or even now the country you live in. There are no recognized borders, and that's why the Secret Service is diligent in our effort globally, worldwide, to make sure that we have as much interaction and liaison with law enforcement, not just here in the United States, but in the foreign countries in which we operate, ultimately to try to bring to justice these transnational organized criminals.